so that the ones that ought not to know him will not know him. That's what you need to understand. So that he will only be revealed to the ones that are appointed for salvation. Then there is a form he takes up. That's why if you want fancy Jesus, you're not born again. That's why if you want cool Jesus, you're not born again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If your salvation has to come with so much machination and mechanizations rather than the submission of a spirit, then there is no new birth. Because it is the arm of the Lord that is revealed to a man. It's the arm of the Lord. Philip was not told, go with a chariot to meet a man in a chariot. Go in a chariot, you will meet a man in a chariot. He was told, go and catch up with a chariot. And do you know how awkward it is for a man to begin running after a chariot? Because the Bible says that he says he chased. So can you imagine this sweaty man in the wilderness running after a chariot? Who preached Jesus to you? Another sweaty man. Came and he entered my chariot and began asking me questions. That is how, when he was presented beyond Philip's understand, beyond what it is that would be called the protocols of addressing eunuchs, then the man is saved. But you put form. You put form, then the Ethiopian eunuch cannot be saved. He is not appointed for salvation. Child of God, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Because we are working hard. We are in a generation where people are working hard to beautify Jesus. And the beautified Jesus is a very powerless Jesus. The beautified Jesus is very powerless. The beautified Jesus is not revealed. The beautified Jesus is one that is the making. He is the machination, the invention of men. And that one, even if you believe in him, you will not be saved. For salvation is in none other. That's what Peter says about him. Salvation is in none. Is in none other. There is no salvation in any other. Salvation is in this one, who when he begins to be presented becomes offensive. Who when he begins to be talked about, when we begin to talk about Christ, the true Christ, it is always very messy, because he will deal with things in your life that you do not want to be dealt with. Yet he is with that form. Why? Because in that form he is wounded for your transgressions. He is not wounded. He is not wounded. He is wounded for. That is the arm of the Lord being revealed to a man. He is not wounded. He is wounded for. He is wounded for. Wounded for. So he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was laid upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. He was wounded for. He is not wounded. He is wounded for. So the one that gets that revelation is brought to the very spots of his wounds. The one that understands it. Because the centurion stood as Jesus is giving up his ghost. The earth is trembling, but this centurion is looking at him, and as he looks at him, the wounded, the bruised Jesus, the one that has already been pierced on his side, and water and blood have flowed, this one, he looked at him, and as he looked at him, he said, surely this one is the Son of God. Surely this one. Surely this one was not a man. Surely this one was not a teacher that was crucified. This was the Son. The earth was trembling. People were running helter-skelter. But as all this melee is happening, in that instant, he keeps his eyes focused on Jesus, not on the happenings. And the conclusion is, surely. Because what normally happens is that when you are appointed to believe, you are given grace to fix your eyes on him. To fix your eyes on that image that others will turn away from. To fix your eyes. You remain there, gazing upon his beauty. That which people will not call beauty. Gazing. Because the psalmist said it. He said, one thing have I desired, and that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. To do what? To behold. To behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his holy temple. He said, for in the day of trouble, he shall